for that function you can apply mean value theorem. So this is the another application of mean value theorem. It says that fb minus fa is equal to f dash c into b minus a. So if we apply the mean value theorem for the function sin x, then we will get sin x minus sin y is equal to derivative of sin at some point c, that is lies between x and y, and here x minus y. So by mean value theorem we can say that mod of sin x minus sin y is equal to the derivative of sin at the point c. So sin derivative is cos at the point c, this mod, and mod of x minus y. And we know that the cos value is maximum value is less than 1. So this is nothing but, so here this c lies between x and y. So that means sin x minus sin y is always less than mod of x minus y. Something, some difference of two functions is required, then you can use mean value theorem. So here some results depending on the differentiability of the function. If function derivative is 0 in the domain, then we will say that that function is nothing but the constant function. If the derivative is strictly greater or equal to 0, then it is increasing function. If it is less or equal to 0, it is decreasing function. If it is greater than 0, then it is strictly increasing. Similarly, less than 0 is strictly decreasing function. The last one is if derivative is non-zero, then function is 1 1. And that is also coming from mean value theorem. So can anyone tell what is the definition when we will say the function is 1 1? One to one.
One element exactly only one.
So how to show any function is 1 1?
Image is
Domain equal to codomain.
F dash x is greater than
F
0.
is strictly increasing or
Yes, sir.
It is
Function is
monotonic
strictly
function.
increasing. Yeah,
F of
Function is
x1
always
plus
increasing.
So suppose f of b
The
equal
number
to
of
f of
elements
a.
in a
Yeah, that is correct, but you cannot always count the number of element. Suppose fb equal to fa, and this if function is 1 1, then what we can say about a and b?
so A is
P
equal to
equal to
A
B.
and B are
x.
equal.
A equal to P
Yeah,
equal to
this
x.
implies
equal to
a equal to b. So if elements are same, its image will also same. So if it is written that derivative is non-zero, that implies that function is 1 1, and it is coming from the mean value theorem. So if we assume fb equal to fa, then we have to show that a equal to b. What this mean value theorem says that, see, if fb equal to fa, this side is 0, and here b equal to a, here if derivative is non-zero, then only right hand side is 0 only when if a equal to b. Because if derivative is 0, then b and a can be different also. It will give fb equal to fa. So since derivative is non-zero, that implies that f is 1 1. So I hope it is clear. fb equal to fa implies b equal to a. Because it is non-zero, we can divide f dash c. So the proof is like that: fb equal to fa. First we will assume this side is 0. This quantity is non-zero, so we can divide non-zero quantity with the 0. We will get b minus a equal to 0. This implies b equal to a. That means function is 1 1. So derivative non-zero means function is 1 1. So now we'll see one example. This one we have to prove that sin x is greater than or equal to x minus x cubed by 6 for all x belongs to 0 to pi by 2. So how we'll do? So to prove this, we'll assume a function sin f of x So we'll keep right hand side this side, that means sin x minus x plus x cubed by 6. So what we have to prove, that we have to show that this is greater than or equal to 0. That means we have to show that this function f of x is an increasing function. So how to show that function is greater or equal to 0?
Find derivative.
So
For
we'll find
increasing
its,
by derivative, the slope is
so
positive.
yes, so we'll find its derivative, and here interval is given 0 to pi by 2. So I will do the derivative of this, and then we'll see can we able to get some conclusion of this or not. So this one we have to prove actually. This is not greater than 0. This we have to prove actually. So what is the derivative of this f dash x? We will differentiate one times. The derivative of sin x is cos x. This will give minus 1. And x cube derivative is 3x square. So it will give x square by 2. We don't know it is greater than 0 or less than 0. Straightforward. In that interval 0 to pi by 2. Yes? Anyone have any doubt? So what I did, the function is given this one. So I kept right hand side is this side. So this becomes sin x minus x plus x cube by 6. Then one time differentiation will give this one. Now if we differentiate again, that means f double dash x. So what will be the derivative of cos x?
Minus sign.
So it will give minus sin x, and this side it will give the x square by 2 derivative is x.
X.
plus x.
So can we say that sin x is bigger than x or sin x is less than x?
Sin x is
Sin
less.
x
X
is
is than X.
That is because
The left.
Even if you have any doubt, we can differentiate, that is the triple derivative. So x derivative is 1, sin x differentiation is cos x. Can we say that this quantity is always positive or negative?
Positive.
Always positive.
Because
Positive.
always greater or equal to 0.
Always
Because
greater
so
or
this
equal
we
to
can clearly say, because cos x cannot go beyond 1. The maximum value of cos x is 1, so it will be either 0 or it will be some positive quantity, because 1 minus cos x is always positive. So if the third derivative is positive, what can you say about f double x? Can we say that the f double prime x or the double derivative of x is
Increasing.
an increasing function?
Increasing.
yes, sir.
So this implies that f double dash x is an increasing function. This is an increasing function.
Sir, if f triple dash is less than 0, will it be f double dash less than 0?
Yeah, if triple dash is less than 0, then we'll say that f double dash is a decreasing function.
Okay.
So it is increasing here in this case. So and the domain is given this one, 0 to pi by 2. In this domain, this function f double dash is increasing. So can I say that this f double dash x value will be always greater than
0.
f double
Yes.
dash 0
yes.
in the interval x belongs to 0 to pi by 2,
Yes, sir.
because it is increasing
Yes.
function, so 0 will be the minimum value, remaining points it will be maximum only. So what is f double dash 0? This is f double dash x.
Zero.
If you put
Increasing
x equal to 0, you will
Zero.
get 0. So this side is 0. That means the double derivative is also in greater than 0. That means f dash is an increasing function. Yes or no? If this is greater or equal to 0, the same logic, whatever we apply on the third derivative, by the same logic, f dash is an increasing function. Then f dash x is also greater than f dash 0. And what is f dash 0?
minus 1.
0.
Sir.
That is also 0.
0.
0.
So this is 0 means f dash is also increasing. That means f is increasing function. F is increasing function means it is greater than 0. So we are done. So first we started from third derivative, we reached to second derivative, then first derivative, and then f is also increasing. So if anyone want me to write, then I can write, otherwise I can leave. Like I have to write f dash.
Can we prove,
Yes.
sir, can we prove from the f dash x from only?
Yeah, f dash x, if you able to prove this is greater than equal to 0, then it is increasing, you can prove. So whatever it is written, this is f of x and this is f of 0. That's why this inequality will hold. If you able to prove this directly, then you can say, so you have to justify this is greater than 0 or not, like this f dash is increasing or not. So now the
Sir.
next question is, yes.
Sir, x cube by 6 is strictly decreasing or increasing?
X cube by 6.
Yes, sir.
Only x cube by 6 you are asking.
Yes, sir.
Since x lies between 0 to pi by 2, so it is x cube by
Yes, sir.
6. So you can differentiate and you come to know it is increasing or decreasing. Its derivative is in terms of x square, and that is always greater or equal to 0 if x lies between 0 to pi by 2. Yes or no?
This is strictly increasing.
Yeah, so if suppose something is increasing, if you add something, it will be increasing or decreasing, we don't know.
Yes,
Like
sir.
to sum of two increasing function is increasing or not, or sum of product of this, we don't know. Now the next question, can you prove that this function is 1 1? Just checking that its derivative is non-zero, where in that domain it will be 1 1. So first find the derivative and check it is 0 or not. So I will also do the derivative of this function f of x, derivative of dash x. It will give 3x square plus 2x minus 5. So it is 0 at which point?
X equal to
X equal to 1.
It is quadratic equation, so you will definitely get 2 points. Not only 1 point. X equal to 1 and you solve
Minus
this.
3.
3.
So at x equal to 1, this function is non-zero. Is there any other point where this derivative is 0?
minus 5 by 3.
Minus 5 by 3.
Minus 5 by 3.
Minus 5 by 3. Okay. So this function is non-zero in the interval this derivative. So clearly we can say that this derivative f dash x is not equal to 0 in the domain. So I'm not including 1 because at 1 it is 0. 1 to 5. It is non-zero or not? If it is non-zero, then by this result, in this interval it is non-zero. That means in this interval the function is 1 1. So the function is 1 1 in that interval. So here we have to show that the function is 1 1 in the closed interval 1 comma 5. What we prove that the function is 1 1 in the open interval 1 to close interval 5. So what about at point 1? Is it 1 1 or not?
Not, sir.
So it will be 1 1. So this implies that f is 1 1 in this one, because it is 1 1. That means in that interval, if you choose 2 point fx1 and fx2 equal, then x1 will be also x2, and that will automatically implies that it is 1 1 in the closed interval also, because at one point whatever value will be there that will not match with the any value in this, because it is 1
Sir,
1
how
already.
1 will be 1 1? Sir, how 1 will consider with 1 1, sir?
Yes, sir. I didn't understand that.
I can't understand, sir, that thing.
1, that means there exists some point or in that interval 1 comma 5, because if you choose 2 points 1 and 2, suppose you choose 2 point in this interval, x1 f of x1 equal to f of x2. If this implies that x1 equal to x2, then we'll say it is 1 1, right? Because this derivative is non-zero, so that means this in this interval, close this, open this, property will automatically satisfy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
That
why
property will
5?
what?
Why 5? It should be minus 5 by 3.
No. In that interval, in this interval, it is non-zero or not.
Sorry,
Whatever
sorry.
interval it is non-zero, in that interval it is 1 1. Even I can take 1 comma 6 also, it is non-zero, so that will also 1 1 in that interval. Because of this, it is non-zero. This will definitely satisfy this property. If you choose, if you even include 1, if you include 1, that will not match with the any other points, because all other point except 1, it is already 1 1, so it will not violate that condition. So you can add at least 1 point. If I will add one more point,
Sir,
we cannot say.
sir,
Yes.
so for 1 f dash x must not be equal to 0 is
For 1 1, the derivative is not equal to 0. Then it is 1
but
1. But the reverse,
but
the converse is not true. Like if this is non-zero, then we'll say it is definitely 1 1. If it is 1 1, derivative can be 0 or non-zero. We don't know anything.
okay, sir.
Only one
But
side.
in sir in open interval 1 comma 5 there includes 1. For that f dash will be 0 0 no sir.
So what? So there is no problem. See if
Then how it
see if it is not equal to 0, then only we'll say it is 1 1. But if it is 0, we cannot say anything. It is one side true. Like if it is 1 1, it can be 0, it cannot be 0. But if it is non-zero, then definitely it is 1 1.
sir here we find x equal to 1 as a root of f dash equal to 0 no sir.
Yes. Okay.
Then f dash x f dash 1 will be 0 if 1 is
Yes. So
included in the interval.
yeah. So 0, no problem, because 0, if it is 0, it can be 1 1. It cannot be in 1 1. We cannot say anything. If it is 0, that doesn't mean that it is not 1 1. If it is not 0, that means it is. Yes or no? It is one side true.
Sir, f dash x can be 0 in distinct points or in an interval.
See, in this interval, it is not 0. That will give guarantee that it is 1 1. It is 1 1 means this property will definitely satisfy in this interval. Up to that, I think no doubt.
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
So now,
Then the why will you include the 1? That is our doubt, sir.
no, I am not including 1. The question is that you have to check that in this interval it is 1 1 or not. So from this, whatever interval will take, it is minus pi by 3, except minus pi by 3 and 1, whatever interval will take, it is 1 1.
Sir.
Yes sir.
But the question is that in this closed interval 1 comma 5, it is 1 1 or not. So if it is open, it is 1 1, because derivative is non-zero. At 1, if you add one more point, it will not violate this property, because this property is satisfying for all. One point, if you combine with some other point, like if you take x1 equal to 1, if you take x2 is something else, and in that interval it is automatic satisfying this property, that means x1 equal to x2, that means that x2 must be 1 only. If you take 1, so that property will also automatically satisfy. So the conclusion is that if you have any interval either closed or open, if it is 1 1, if you include the boundary, it will remain 1 1. Like adding single point, it will remain 1 1. Is it clear?
Sir, if
Yes.
a function is increasing, from that we cannot imply that the function will be greater than 0. The function value.
Yeah, if it is increasing, then definitely it is greater than or equal to 0.
That function value.
The derivative, not function.
Yes, sir. So in the previous question, we have proved that fx is increasing.
Yes.
But in the previous question, we have to prove that fx will be greater than 0.
Yes.
So
Yeah. See what I already explained the logic. See, so f is increasing or not?
Yes, sir.
That you agree. If f is increasing, then the value of fx will be greater than or equal to f0 for all x or not, because the interval is from 0 to pi by 2. It is increasing
Yes,
function.
sir. Yes, sir.
So f0 is what? If you put 0 here, then you will get 0 only. That means
Yes, sir.
that is 0. This is not 0. That is f of 0. And this is f of x. F of x is greater than f of 0. That I am using. I am not
Sir,
saying this is for.
yes. Sir, if in this question f of 0 value will suppose be -1.
Then this inequality will be greater than -1.
Yes, sir.
Then
In that
question will
case,
be something like that.
yes, sir. Yes.
Here some -1 will also there, or +1 will be there.
Okay, sir.
So now I think everybody know the maximum minima, how to find maximum minima. In the last class I shown one result and I told you just remember that one. So first tell me what is the first derivative test for maximum minima. How to check maximum minimum of any function.
If derivative is positive,
The first derivative says that if function has the maxima, local maxima or local minima, then its derivative must be 0. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Then you will
Yes, sir.
then you will solve this. You will get some points, and after that, suppose after solving you got a point x. Then you will check the double derivative sign at x0. If that point x0 is
Minimum, maximum.
minima. Last one.
Greater than minimum, less than
Greater
maximum.
than 0 minima, less than 0 maxima.
yeah, if greater than 0, it is a local minimum. Local
And
min.
less than 0, maximum.
Yeah, it is local maximum. So anyone who never seen this result, first you have to find the derivative, put it equal to 0, solve for x, you will get some point, then check the double derivative sign. Based on the sign you can conclude that point whatever it came by solving f dash x equal to 0, it is local maxima or local minima. So now I will give one example and you have to apply only this result to check it is maxima or minima.
Sir,
Very simple. Yes.
sir, f dash double dash x0 that define the concavity of the function, na?
Yes. So what is the problem? That's why do you know this result for checking maxima or minima?
Yes, sir. I'm good. Sorry, sir.
So now I will give one example, and by applying this result only you have to find. You can draw the graph also, but I don't want answer from the graph. I want answer from this result. Very simple example I will give. So let me confuse you people. Some domain is given -1 to 1 to real number, and the function definition is given fx equal to x. The question is find the maximum or minimum of this function by the above result. So tell me the point where the function has maximum and where the function has a minimum.
1 it is maximum,
One
minus
पे
1
maximum, minus
One
one पे
maximum.
One
minimum.
maximum, minimum.
-1 is minimum.
So how you are
One
saying
पे
one
maximum और
is,
zero पे minimum.
so why at 1 it is maximum?
No maximum
Or
minimum, sir. It is a parallel to y-axis. Sorry,
someone is
x-axis.
saying
One
no
maximum
X.
maximum
because
minimum. So what is the derivative of this function?
One.
It's
So
a
one is,
constant.
so derivative of this function is 1, which is never 0. What does it mean? Derivative is not 0.
Constant.
No minima or maximum.
No
No
maximum.
minimum.
Minimum,
Maxima.
So someone is saying no minima and maxima, and if I will draw the graph, this is -1, this is +1, so this is line y equal to x, fx equal to x. So here it is minima, here it is maxima. Minima at -1, maxima at +1, we can clearly see.
So
But
Sir,
derivative is not 0.
minimum from sir.
Is there something?
Choosing between an interval, sir.
It is choosing an interval.
Interval, sir, that del x plus 1, del x minus something. 1 x del
So
x.
we don't know either it is continuous or not.
Fx equal to x is continuous. Clearly from the graph you can see that the function is continuous. What
sure.
is the problem? So my question is why this result failed to tell this function has maximum or minimum? Is there any something wrong here? Whatever I wrote, the first derivative 0, then second derivative positive, negative, is something wrong there? Or
So
this result we or whatever I wrote f dash x equal to 0, this result we can never apply to find maximum or minima, or this is not valid for maximum or minima or something else. So let me give one more example.
Yes, second derivative vanishes, sir.
But first derivative is not equal to 0, that means there is no maximum minima. Very easy example, exponential x. Where is the maxima, where is the minima? Differentiate and tell me the point where it
What
has
is
a
the
maximum.
interval?
It is from R to R, whole real line. The graph of exponential function, whole real line. What is the derivative of this?
e to the power x.
So tell me the point where e to the power x is 0.
It's always positive, sir.
That means it is never 0.
Always positive, sir. It's not.
So can we say that it has a maximum or minima? So now one more question.
Unless any interval is not given, it has no minimum or maximum. If interval will be given, then there might be a maximum or minimum point.
Question fx equal to mod x. What is the maximum or minimum of this function? Domain is from
interval, sir. Minima is 0, sir.
yeah, interval is real line, whole real line.
Minima is 0.
Minima is 0.
Local minima and
Minima
maximum
is
is
zero.
zero. Maximum not exist.
If you are saying minima is 0, then what is the derivative of this function? What is the derivative of this function?
Not defined.
That
It's
0
not
is not
derivative x equal to 0.
So here even you cannot find the derivative. But if you draw the graph
Yes,
of this,
sir.
you can say that this is the minima. So that means whatever result you know this, is there some problem in this result? Like f dash x equal to 0, this first derivative test or something? This whatever I wrote, is it the correct result? Or something missing here, so that's why we are unable to say the answer of this question. Can anyone tell?
These rules are applicable for only non-monotonic functions.
No, this is applicable for all functions. The whatever result I wrote, it is applicable for all the functions. So that's why I told in the last class, just remember one result when I was telling about the definition maximum. Let me go back to that. Now read that about this one. Just read this result. It is saying that if function is defined in a domain can be -1 to +1, that interval, or it can be real line, anything. It has a local maxima or local minima at the interior point of the domain. It is not saying that at boundary what will happen. So whatever result I shown to you, that is applicable only at the interior point of the domain. At the boundary what will happen, we cannot say anything. If f is differentiable at x0, so it is written also, if f is differentiable. If function is not differentiable, we cannot say anything. If it is differentiable, then its derivative must be 0 for maxima and minima, and that point x0 will be the local maxima or local minima. So the two things you have to remember in this result. The first is that whatever method we have, this derivative and double derivative, it is applicable only at the interior point. It will not give any information about boundary. So boundary, you cannot say anything. It can be maxima, it can be minima, you have to check separately. We'll see. The second one is that if function is not differentiable, then we cannot say anything. So we can apply whatever first derivative test or second derivative test only at the interior point and only for the differentiable function. So I hope it is clear to everyone. The problem why this fails for the fx equal to x, because it is not fails, it is giving the correct information. It is not equal to 0 means that it is saying that there is a no interior point from -1 to 1 where maxima or minima will occur, and that is correct. Maximum minima is occurring at the boundary, but it is not occurring at all at the interior point. So this result is saying correctly, but it is saying that there does not exist any interior point where maxima or minima can. So that is correct for question 0. It does not exist any single point where maxima or minima will occur. For this function, it is not differentiable, so we cannot say anything because function is not differentiable. So forget about interior or exterior. But suppose function is not differentiable, then how we'll find maxima or minima? That also we'll see by this example. Whatever I will explain in this example, the same technique if you apply for mod x, you will get the answer. So we'll do this example. So the first derivative test and second derivative test, anyway I explained that first put the first derivative 0, you will get the point where maxima or minima can occur. After that, second derivative, check the sign. The only thing you have to see that the function must be differentiable and it is the interior point. So for this function, what is the derivative of this function fx? I want to check where is the maxima or minima, and it is written for all r. So what is the differentiation of fx?
minus
Minus
2 by
2 by
minus 2
3
by
x to the
3
power
x to the power minus
Minus
1 by
2 by 3
1
x to the power
minus 1 by 3
minus 1 by 3.
minus 1 by 3. So give me the point where this function is 0. Is there any point where function is 0?
X equal to 0.
0, sir. X
No,
equal
sir.
to 0.
So there is no point,
Equal
sir.
to 1.
No, sir. No point.
So the problem is that whatever I wrote here, this function I differentiated, but this function is not differentiable at 0 at all. So whatever derivative I wrote, that is not valid for x equal to 0. That means for x not equal to 0, this is the derivative. Yes or no? For x not equal to 0, this is the derivative, because derivative is not defined at 0. This function is continuous, but it is not differentiable at all. I differentiated this, but that is in that domain, minus infinity to 0, union 0 to infinity. This function is differentiable only in this, so we can differentiate only in this range. We cannot differentiate at 0. So that's why I wrote x is not equal to 0. X equal to 0 we'll check separately, because it is not differentiable, so we cannot differentiate. We cannot find maxima and minima by this first derivative or second derivative. It is similar case as a mod x. So now this function f dash x in this range where it is differentiable, it is 0 somewhere or not? Is there any point in that minus infinity to 0 or 0 to infinity f dash x is 0 or not?
No, sir.
Infinity
in-
is 0.
Yeah,
No,
infinity.
sir.
So in this domain, it is not equal to 0. That means that there does not exist any point in this domain where function have maxima or minima. So the conclusion is that in this domain, x doesn't have the, means this function doesn't have the maxima or minima in this range, because it is not 0. For maxima minima, it must be 0. So fx doesn't have max or min. We don't know maxima or minima which one in this range. Yes.
Sir, but 0 can be critical point for them.
No, 0 is not a critical point. The derivative is not equal to 0 at 0.
Sir, because at 0 it is not defined, that's why.
So that's why I wrote x not equal to 0. It is differentiable only when x is not equal to 0. That means in this range. Then only you can differentiate. If function is not differentiable, how we can differentiate?
Okay, sir.
So now the conclusion is that by first derivative itself, we can say that it doesn't have any point in this domain where maxima or minima can occur. Now the thing is that at x equal to 0, it may be maxima or minima. So that x equal to 0, we have to check separately. Even if you include x equal to 0, because it is giving the information only about the interior point, 0, we cannot say anything. So now at 0, it is maxima or minima?
It is a constant function at x equal to 0.
At 0, it is maxima or minima?
Maximum.
So how to check it is 0, it is maxima or minima? So we have, this is 0, this side is 0 to infinity, this side is 0 to minus infinity. Can you, if
Nearest point.
Yeah, at 0, suppose I want to check it is maximum or minima, then I have to check that in this domain it is increasing or decreasing. Like minus infinity to 0, it is increasing or decreasing. The derivative is positive or negative when x is negative.
Positive.
Okay, here it is positive. And when x is positive, then the derivative is
Negative.
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 So this side derivative is positive, that means it is strictly increasing. This side is negative, that means it is strictly decreasing. That means at 0 it will be the
Maximum value.
Maximum.
maximum. So 0 is the maxima because it is increasing here and then decreasing here. So that means by increasing and decreasing, you can say that at 0 this function has a maxima. And what is the maximum value? You can calculate f of 0 here. F of 0 will come 1. So 1 is the maximum value. So now this question is completed. First we'll see the point where the function is not defined. When the derivative is not defined, that we cannot differentiate. So we have to check those points separately. Or second case is that the interior point. Only it is giving, so boundary point we have to check separately. So 2 points you have to check separately. The point where the derivative is not defined and the point which are at the boundary. Those points you have to check separately in order to find maxima or minima. So this is the Taylor theorem. Anyway, I will not going to this. No question will come in the exam from this. If you want to learn, so that's why I kept in this slide. That is optional. So now this is the for a higher order derivative. Suppose the first derivative, second derivative, and n minus 1 derivative are 0 at that point, and the nth derivative is non-zero. In that case, how will say the function has maxima or minima? So these are the result. If n is even, nth derivative is non-zero, less than 0, then it has a local maximum. If it is greater than 0, it has a local minimum. If n is odd, then we'll say it is neither has a local maxima or nor a minimum. So this is the example based on this. So first check the derivative is 0 at which point for this function. This function is anyway polynomial, so it is differentiable also, it is continuous also, so we can differentiate. So there is no problem of differentiability. So check it. Is this function is which point the derivative is 0? Give me those point where the derivative of this function is 0. Then we can find the maximum or minimum. It will give some
At x equal to 0.
5x minus 20x cube 15 x square. So from here I think x square is common. We'll get 5, even 5 is also common.
So 0, 1, 3.
Yeah, x square minus 4x plus 3. Yeah, 0, 1 and 3. So because it is 0 when x equal to this 0, 1 and 3. So these 3 points can be maxima or minima. Then we'll check the sign of double derivative. That will give 20x cube minus 60x square plus 30x. So at 0, what is the double derivative?
0.
0.
At 1, what will be the double derivative? And at 3, what will be the double derivative sign?
At 1 it is negative.
So at 1 it is negative, then at 1 it is maxima. At 3
Minima.
it is positive or not? If it is positive, then 3 will be minima.
Positive.
At 0 it is 0. So what about 0? 0 is the maximum or minima?
Minima.
At 0
Minima.
it is 0, so we cannot say anything. So what we'll do? Yeah, at 0 what we'll do, because it is 0, then we'll go to the third derivative. Third derivative is 0, then we'll check the sign of fourth derivative. If fourth derivative is again 0, then we'll find fifth derivative and we'll check the sign of sixth derivative. So first derivative is 0, second derivative is also 0 at 0. Now we'll go to the third derivative. Because we cannot conclude by first and second derivative, then we will use the third and fourth derivative. So at third derivative, it will give 60 x square minus 120x. So it is 0 at x equal to 0. Now what is the fourth derivative of this? This is 120x.
Sir, plus 30.
Yes?
Plus 30 na sir, 60x square
Okay, plus 30. Right. So now we'll check the fourth derivative. Even fifth derivative also I wrote, third, fourth and fifth also I'm writing. That is 120. So now what is your conclusion?
Sir, 120x minus 120 na?
Yes, 120x minus 120 and then 120 final. So this result says that like first derivative is 0, second derivative is 0, even n minus 1th derivative is also 0, but nth derivative is non-zero. Means all derivatives are 0 until this derivative is non-zero. And if that n is odd, then it doesn't have any maxima or minima. If it is even, then there are two cases depending on the sign of that derivative. So in this example, at 0 function is 0, its second derivative is 0. What is its third derivative at 0?
Positive.
Third derivative will come
Positive 30.
30. It is positive. So f triple prime third derivative at 0 equal to 30, which is positive. That means it is non-zero. So we'll not move to the further. So this is not required because we got a non-zero. And that 3 is even or odd? Odd. That 3 is odd. So that means this doesn't have a local maximum or local minimum.
Then sir, at x equal to 0, there would be point of inflation, right?
Yes, there is no maximum or no minimum. That is the conclusion. If n is odd, then f has a neither local maxima nor it is local minima. At 1 and 3, it has a maxima and a minima. At 0, it doesn't have. Suppose in this question, it will go up to, suppose this is also 0, it will go to the fourth derivative, and fourth derivative sign is positive. Because it is 4, it is even, sign is positive, then you will say it is local minima. Now yes.
So is it necessary to do this question by another derivative test? Means in the previous slide you did by first derivative test by checking whether the derivative is positive or negative in the interval.
Yes, so I am doing the same. So I am doing the same thing. Here I did up to second only, but here it is came 0. Then we cannot conclude anything. That's why I moved to the further derivative. If this will also come some positive negative, we can clearly say it is maxima or minima. The question is done. But it came 0, so we have to move further higher derivative. Right?
So go to the previous slide.
Yeah, previous this one.
Yes,
I did the first derivative. It came non-zero. We didn't get any point. Then conclusion that it doesn't have maxima minima. If it is 0, then we'll check that it is double derivative. If double derivative also will not able to conclude, we'll go to the third derivative.
Okay, sir.
Now the last question for this maxima minima. Here you have to find the global maxima and global minima, like which one is the biggest and which one is the smallest. So the question is this function is continuous? That is the first question. Is this function is continuous or not?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes, sir, continuous.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is continuous.
Is this function is differentiable or not?
Yes, sir.
Check carefully. It is differentiable or not?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
No,
So
sir.
No, sir.
So f is not differentiable. Not differentiable at which point?
At x equal to 0.
X equal to 0.
At x equal to 0. So we cannot differentiate directly. So what we will do, we'll break the interval. If the domain is from -1 to 2, at 0 it is not differentiable, then we'll choose this one. -1 to open interval 0. 0 will check separately, and 0 to 2. In this it is differentiable, in this it is differentiable. We can differentiate also. This is the closed. So in this we'll check separately, in this we'll check separately. In this interval it has a maxima or minima or not, and 0 to 2 also it has a maxima or minima or not. So the question is divided into two parts. So in this interval it is -x, and 0 to 2 this have the value 2x cube minus 4x square plus 2x. So check maxima minima for this. The derivative of this is -1, which is not equal to 0. That means the interior point it doesn't have maxima or minima. At -1 it can have maxima, because boundary we don't know. So from this the conclusion is that at interior point, because the derivative is non-zero, interior point this function doesn't have, fx doesn't have maxima or minima. That means open interval -1 to 0 it doesn't have maxima or minima. At -1 it can have, so we have to check -1 separately. We'll check later. Here 0 will check separately. Now come to this part, 0 to 2. What is the derivative of this f dash x, and find the maxima minima. This will give something 6 is x square minus 8x plus 2. So tell me at which point it is 0.
X equal to 1.
X equal to 1.
1. And other point?
1/3.
1/3.
1/3. So in the both the point. So here what this method will not able to get. At 1 something maximum minima we have to check the double derivative. At 1/3 also we have to check the double derivative. But in this method we will not get any information about this boundary 2. So this 2 also we have to check separately, because this method will not give any information about 2. It is giving only interior points. So what we have to check separately, 0, 2 and -1. That will check separately. 1 and 3 we can check the double derivative is positive or negative. What is the double derivative? It is 12x minus 8. So at 1 it is positive. So 1 is the minima. At 1/3 it is negative. So this is maximum. So total how many points? I will just write 1 point is 0. We don't know. 1, 1/3, -1 and 2. Here 2 is missed, here 0 is missed, here -1 is missed. So 3 point we don't know. What we know, this we got a minima, 1/3 we got maxima. At this point we don't know it is maxima or minima. So the question is find the global maxima. Then even no need to check it is maxima or minima. Just check the functional value. Which one is the maximum out of this 5 point? That will be the global maxima. And which one is the minimum? That will be the global minima. So out of this 5 point, at which point the function have the maximum value? That will be the global maxima. At which point function have the minimum value? That will be the global minima. If the question is to find global minima or global maxima, then no need to check this point has a maxima or minima. Just check the functional value. If the question is that you have to check this point is 0 means maxima or minima, then you have to check that it is increasing or decreasing here. Based on that you can conclude it is maxima or minima. At this point 0 you have to check it is increasing or decreasing. And here anyway this 2 point you have to check separately, like we did in the function fx equal to x. So is it clear to everyone? So first I divided into two parts, this one and this one, because we don't know at 0 it is differentiable. But in this domain it is differentiable, in this domain also differentiable. So 0 is the separate. So there are two questions. In this it is -x, and in this it is this function. So in the both the part I concluded it is maxima. In this domain there is no maxima or no minima because it is non-zero. In this domain we got 2.1 and 3. 1 is a minima and 1/3 is maxima by checking the double derivative sign. So this 2 is confirmed. But in this whole method, that boundary is missed, that is -1, and here 2 is missed, because that derivative will never give any information about 2. This derivative is not giving any information about -1. It can be anything. So these 3 points we have to check separately what will be the functional value. So you can check f of 0, f of 1, f of 1/3, f of -1, and f of 2. Which one is the maxima? That is the global maxima. Which one is the minimum? That will be the global minimum.